Peace, Will Hercules back here with another video. And coming to you guys today. So I watch a bit of news. I'm very heavy into politics. So I watch a bit of news. And this guy by the name of Andrew Tate, I don't know if you heard of him before. He was just recently canceled. And one thing he said was that he speaks to average men. Like a lot of men feel forgotten about. And that kind of made me sit back and think and apply that same schematic to my own life. Like our average men forgotten about. And I consider myself pretty average. I'm only 22. I'm still in the working phase of my life. What I mean by working phase is we're still developing and we're still growing. We're trying to create the lifestyle that we want for ourselves and for our family. I'm a big advocate of family. So I consider myself pretty average. I'm in a working phase. I'm still in school. I work. You know what I'm saying? I go to the gym. I take care of myself. But it made me think like maybe we just might be forgotten about, you know, because we hear about the outlandish requirements that men have to meet in order to qualify, to be able to court a woman or to even have a woman. But I think a lot of that is pushed by mainstream media. I think a lot of times we have to dig below the surface because it's easy to say, yeah, women's expectations of men are through the roof and it's not realistic, but we also have to think of how we're being peddled this information, right? It's a lot of mainstream media showing us a lot of famous people or popular people talking on certain topics. Well, we also have to keep in mind the everyday people. Now, I think like that, but that doesn't mean everybody think like that. And I think a lot of people can fall into the trap of delusion by taking on these narratives that the culture, pushes to us. So, based off what he said, do we feel forgotten about? I feel like from my perspective, I can see that being true. And I can see a lot of people falling for taking the delusional pill and setting their standards and their boundaries way too high. Working a career field, mainly women, and things that I hear are pretty extravagant. Which it doesn't surprise me considering the culture, because we live in a culture where no one thinks for themselves anymore. And anytime you challenge that culture, which I do, I challenge the culture all the time, you get a lot of blowback. And I think a lot of people aren't really ready to live that lifestyle yet of being open and honest and true to themselves, which is a very, very sad thing. We don't really teach individualism anymore. We teach robotics. We teach people that they have to fit this carbon cut. They have to fit this narrative. And I'm definitely not peddling that progressive propaganda, but I do think that people are scared to be themselves. You got to be willing to step out your shell and to be yourself. And for me, I'm a man. You got to be a man. I say it all the time, and people hate it because, it doesn't really fit the progressive dictionary of, I said, be a man. If you're a man, stand on your 10 toes, stand on your 10 feet. You dig what I'm saying? Be you. Don't be scared to be yourself. If that means you have to go out life alone, that's just what that is. It's not permanent. It's temporary. Sometimes you have to go through certain phases of life by yourself in order to get to where you want to get to. So are we forgotten about? Sure, maybe. But that shouldn't even be the focus. Now, we all want love. We all want attention. We all want friends. We all want to be considered, important to somebody, which cool. Get you your little group of guy friends, or you got your little shorties on the side or whatever the case may be, and rock out with that. But there also, may be a time where you need to be fully by yourself. And I think there's power in being by yourself. People advocate to building a network, building a strong social tie, gaining your status, things like that. But you have to know how to be able to be by yourself. And I think that's an acquired skill, meaning you have to spend time by yourself to learn to be comfortable by yourself. Now, is it going to be easier for some of us? Sure, because some of us are more introverted and prefer our alone time. But some of us also are more extroverted and would rather be around a lot of people. But you have to learn, and I think it's an art form, you have to learn the art and the nature of solitude. You have to understand that there's power in silence, right? Like I've started this new thing where I work out outside, right? Mainly by myself. I usually wake up at like 5, 6 in the morning. And it's just me when I go to work out. And it's dead quiet. All you hear is, nature, the birds chirping, but it's just me and the dog, and I'm out there by myself, right? And it's just like, okay, that builds the discipline for me to lock in. And then I also allow life to speak to me. You gotta, because you gotta be in tune with certain messages. Life speaks to you in your lowest moments, but you have to be open and receptive and be calibrated on that frequency to allow life to speak to you. And when I'm in those moments of solitude, because I don't want to call it loneliness, because there is a very distinct difference between solitude and loneliness. Now, during the terms of solitude, can you have periods of loneliness? You absolutely can, but it's your job to occupy yourself, whether that be being a better version of yourself, healing from your past traumas, starting a book, focusing on school, building your life, getting yourself to where you have to be in life. So I do think phases of solitude are very, very important to help you get to where you got to get to. Because if your focus is with friends or with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend, or this event Friday, we're going out this weekend, that eats up a lot of time that you can dedicate, like how I'm doing now, to perfecting your craft. I'm not the greatest content creator, but I work on my craft. I have a lot of time to work on my craft and to get better at it and to do this. But phases of solitude is important. So I'm glad Andrew Tate highlighted that average men, which I consider myself to be average, are forgotten about. Sure. But the focus should be not only that, the focus shouldn't be that you're forgotten about. Your focus should be on building your life to get to where you got to get to. The fame, the fortune, the notoriety, the women, the money, all that comes in time. Women are always going to be out there. We live in a world with millions of women. There's women at every corner, at every stop. And for the young ladies out there, there's men at every corner, at every stop. Your focus should be putting yourself in a position to win. Who cares if you feel forgotten about? Who cares if you feel average? If you don't like your life, then change it. But you have to put the work in first to get to where you want to get to. And then you can branch out and do other things. But there are times, life works in phases. There are times when you should be dedicating your time and attention to certain things in life, and I'll leave it at that. We can go a lot deeper on that topic later, but life is done in phases, and just know which phase are you in. If you don't got everything you want, if you haven't achieved your goals, if you haven't put in the work or done your due diligence or living by yourself or having your own car or have money saved up, then your focus needs to be on those life essentials, not all the play. Once you get your needs met, then you focus on the play. It's like the Maslow hierarchies of needs, but we'll keep it there. So to sum it up, Andrew Tate, yes, average men can be forgotten about 110%, but our focus needs to not be on that, but needs to be building our lives for the better. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for continuing to rock with me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I appreciate y'all. Continue to grow and continue to be a better person. Continue being the best version of yourself. Peace.